Hi everybody. Here doing Libra for the month of July 2020. First thing I did, I drew balance as the tarot card from the psychic deck. And that's pretty much telling me there's something going on within a partnership at home that is pretty much depleting you, making you feel out of balance. And realize all of this is internal, and you're going to have to reclaim your power. And you're going to have to be honest, and you're going to have to be who you are in order to do this. You can't manipulate, you can't play games. You just got to be honest about what you want and what the other person wants. And if you're not on the same page, you're not on the same page. But don't play any games, and because you've got to get your balance and harmony. And there are changes that have to happen because you can't keep going on the same track. So, well, anyway, that's done. Now, for the reading for Libra, astrology, for the 29th through the 5th, for the month of July, I want to talk about, and we're going to backtrack into a little bit of June, and it's only because we have a huge Jupiter-Pluto conjunction in Capricorn, and that is your 4th house. And pretty much that is stating that there's family issues expanding in your life. And there's some things, behaviors in that dynamic that have to be stripped away in order for everybody to be on the same page. Then you're going to have Uranus in Taurus in your 8th house, sextiling the sun in Cancer in your 10th house. And that's telling me that changes in behavior for transformation, or with addictions, or with your own internal struggles, okay, is going to be gotten over easily. And in doing that, you're going to find your own power. But you're going to have to deal with these 8th house issues that have left these scars on you. And once you do, you're going to find that power, because as long as we're willing to make the changes, we can get through anything. But it's when we start playing the blame game that we stay stuck in a pattern of behavior. Now, on the 1st, Saturn retrogrades back into the Capricorn in your 4th house. And it says here that to me, that pretty well says you've learned a lot of lessons in your family dynamic over the past 2.5 years. And this is what you're going to be finishing up. To me, it just says that a lot of times your family and you are at cross purposes of what you want and what they want. It's on two different, wavelengths. And again, as long as you're not manipulating or using bad behavior to express this, then everything's going to be fine. Because once you get through this last bout with Capricorn, and even though it's now retrograde back in Capricorn, once it starts moving forward again and gets out of Capricorn, it's going to leave you a reward with your family for all the work that you have done. Now, on the 8th, on the 4th or the 5th, depending where you live, we're having a lunar eclipse. and that is the sun in Cancer in the 10th, opposing the moon in Capricorn in the 4th. And again, that is a lunar eclipse. And basically, it's eclipsing an issue out of your life with your family. You have learned to stand in your own power and to speak your own truth no matter what. And sometimes your family doesn't want to hear it. But, you know, again, it's because they're at cross purposes with you, and they want one thing and you want another thing. Well, you know there's got to be a compromise, because you as a Libra are always willing to compromise with another person. But it's when they don't compromise and they stand rooted, okay, in what they want only, then it's not going to work. So just know that this situation will be eclipsed out of your life with the constant cross purposes, and hopefully for you guys to get on the same page. Now, on the 8th, we have Mercury in Cancer in the 10th house squaring Mars in the 7th house. And that's pretty much telling me you're thinking about how you can keep your power in this family dynamic that is at cross purposes with you, because you can no longer keep your mouth shut. You can no longer give in to what they want, because in doing that, you make yourself unhappy and you give away your power. And you can't do that anymore. You've got to keep your power. And in order to do that, you're going to have to, of course, speak up again. But, you know, also remember that right now is not the time to speak, and it's because Mercury's retrograde. Just think about it. You know, you have to keep that power, and you've got to get what you want out of your life, even though they're taking different actions for what they want. And again, they're entitled to do what they want to do in life, because it is their life and they're on their own journey, just as you are on your own journey. And sometimes those two just don't mesh, and you've got to let it go. Even, you know, if that partnership happens to be in your family, you know, it could be with a boss too, you know, with it being the 10th house, and, you know, or it could be with someone you view as an enemy. You just have to keep your power and do good and keep your karma. Because again, we're back to that psychic card that I drew for you, a balance. You know, you got to keep your peace and harmony within you, and you cannot give away your own power to keep other people happy. Now, on the 12th, woohoo, Mercury is going direct in Cancer in your 10th house. And that's going to let you put out your thoughts and express yourself in your own power about the things that you want for your life. You know, because you're finally going to be clear about what you do want with those goals. Now, on the 12th, we've got the Sun in Cancer in the 10th, trining Neptune in Pisces in your 6th house. And that just pretty much says that, you know, you're an intuitive being, and you're keeping your power by not being emotional with everybody, because they've always known you to be very emotional and high strung because of your emotions. But now you're learning to use that emotions in a way that isn't stripping away everything, but you're able to keep um, your health, your emotional health. And in doing this, right now you're focusing on your health and your work and the things that you want. And it's going to be a good day because of that. Now, on the 15th, the Sun in Cancer in your 10th house is conjunct Pluto in Capricorn in your 4th house. And pretty much that just says, with it being 10th house, you're learning how to keep your power. No matter how emotional things get within your family, you're learning to keep your own power. That your family can try to play these games, but you're not going to play them anymore. You are, standing in your power. You know what you want. You know what you stand for. And again, back to the card of balance. You're not playing the games. You're going to keep your karma clean, and how they react is on them. Now, on the 20th, we have the Sun in Cancer in the 10th house opposing Saturn in Capricorn in the 4th house. And it says here that you've always felt vulnerable, in your family because, you've always given everybody their way because you want to be loved, all right? And you want to make sure everybody loves you. But right now, with those structures, you're going to have to stand up for yourself. And, you're learning to be responsible for you. You can't play into their game of, that, we're your family and, nobody else is your family. They're not going to do for you what we do. You can't buy into that. You have got to be responsible for you and your behavior. Because even though they are your family, they're at cross purposes with you right now. And you want one thing and they want another thing. And you guys are going to have to compromise because you're no longer going to be giving in just to keep the peace. You have a life that you want to live too. And you're entitled to live that life the way that you were meant to live it, and not by being under your family's thumb. Now, on the 22nd, we have the Sun in Leo in your 11th house. It's moving. Yay, it's out of Cancer. Things aren't going to be so emotional anymore. And you're going to feel more lighthearted in your friendships and in the groups that you belong to. And your dreams are, you're going to be getting more creative there. And these are the areas that make you feel good right now. Your friendships and the affiliations with your groups and just how you use your creativity. And that's a good thing. Now, on the 22nd, we have Mercury in the 10th house sextiling Uranus in Taurus in the 8th house. And pretty much that says you have changed your behaviors. And in doing so, you have found your power, against those that have tried to control you, because this is where your scars are, is everybody has always wanted to control you to see things their way, and they haven't been able to, let's face it. But recently you found your own power, and you're leaving those scars behind because you've changed your behavior, that those dynamics are no longer working on you. And that's a good thing. Then on the 27th, we have Jupiter in Capricorn in the 4th house, sextiling Neptune in Pisces in the 6th house. And you know, in order for your family to heal from all this turmoil that has happened, that they need to see the illusions. They need to see where things have to be healed, and they've got to get rid of the illusions that they've lived with, whether it be an addiction of some sort, or whether they're living with an illusion that somebody was the greatest person on earth, and they need to deal with the behaviors that that person left them with. So that's just another aspect. Then also on the 27th, we have Venus in Gemini in the 9th house, squaring Neptune in Pisces in the 6th house. And pretty much here, you're going to have to deal with people by using your higher mind that you love, that are coming at you with dual personality traits. At one moment, they might be as sweet as pie, and the next moment, they're just all over the place. You know, you again, it's health issues, okay? And in order to get everybody on the same wavelength, they have to leave those behavior problems behind that are causing issues to their own health. You can't help them until they want to help themselves. They have to change their behaviors, not you. Then again, on the 27th, we have Mercury in Cancer in the 10th house, squaring Mars in Aries in the 7th house. Now, this is a repeat from the 8th of July, when Mercury was still retrograde, but now it's direct. And right now it's telling you, you no longer can ignore your intuition with partnerships. You know, they have shown you who they are with their actions. Never ignore the actions. Yes, they're at cross purposes with you. But this is a partnership, okay? And in order for partnerships to work, both people have to be on the same page. Both people have to want the same things. And if they are at cross purposes and there is no compromise for both people to get what they want, or for both people to be happy, then you have to let them go in one way, and then you have to go in another. It's not saying that you don't care about each other still, or that you don't love each other, you know, but they have to live their life and you have to live yours. And you can't give away who you are any longer in order for other people to be happy, and in order for them to have their way, you become miserable. That's not working anymore. Well, anyway, if I could say anything about this month, Libra, keep your balance, keep your harmony, keep yourself in good balance. Don't let other people affect your karma. Do what's right, and do what you know is good in your heart, and everything will be fine. Your karma is yours. Have a great month. Talk to you next month. Bye-bye.